excited to be back again on episode 8 of Expand Your Life. Well, I gave a break last week though, and this week I get someone very interesting in the episode 8. She's an amazing human being. She has been really supportive in the corporate world, doing a lot of things in the corporate world. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to invite her, and she's going to also talk about what the kind of differences she has been making in the corporate world as well as the transgender community. Well, we had somebody in the transgender community earlier, but this time I'm having someone very interesting who's actually making a difference to the transgender community also, along with what she does in the corporate world. I'm going to invite Anupama Ishwaran to the show right away. So I'm going to invite her right away. Just have sent her an invite. She will join soon. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you what exactly Expand Your Life is. Expand Your Life is a channel where we bring together people from different walks of life who shares their all kinds of their journey, their entire aspects of life, and what kind of challenges that they face in that life. So that's where what Expand Your Life does, and how you expand your life in that aspect. For example, somebody who is facing a lot of challenges in business and how they expand themselves in the business. That's what they do while in the Expand Your Life. So this is what Expand Your Life is all about. And every week I get someone who talks something very unique and anything that really makes a lot of difference to that person, and the people and the viewers who are there makes a difference to them. And what they take back with them is life is right now, and life, you make a lot of difference in life when you make sure that you really step forward to make a difference. That's what it is. And when you step forward to make a difference for yourself as well as for the others, that's what is a big thing all about. So I'm going to invite again. I think she's not been able to join again. I'm just going to invite her. Yeah. So Anupama, I've just sent you the invite. Hi, how are you? You've joined.
Very good.
Great. We didn't have technical glitches this time.
Thank God.
Thank God, yes.
I'm getting my earphones. 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
We've got 5 minutes. Then.
Yeah, people joining, so just get the earphone maybe. Yeah. Yes. So Anupama is, someone I would really like to say a few words about her. She's an amazing human being, as I said, and she's transformed lives of corporates and the cultures of the corporates, and also, she's made a difference in the social life, right? So Anupama, I'm just saying a little bit about you, and so I welcome her, and I will ask her questions, and she's going to talk about, what was her inspiration and how she made a difference and what are the kind of difference she's making. And well, so Anupama, I'm going to ask you the first question to you is, what was the inspiration and how did you conceptualize in harmony? It's a concept.
Okay. So I think many things led me to being here in this starting in harmony. Firstly, my whole background with an armed forces and then a Kendriya Vidyalaya education. I think diversity and inclusion was always a part of life. It's just that those terms were never known before.
Right.
And in terms of career, before starting in Harmony, I was with an organization which provided employee counseling services called Employee Assistance Program. So as part of my job, I used to conduct a lot of training programs on counseling skills, on women, balancing work and home.
A little louder.
Okay. Is it okay? Audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Am I audible? Yeah. So also various kind of training programs, prevention of sexual harassment, etc. So as I was getting more and more involved in these trainings, I realized the whole issue of individual within an organization, the whole diversity and inclusion aspect, etc. And I got more interested to work in this space. Besides that, my own certain life career decisions that I took, I think that also propelled me to work with women and help them make better career choices. So that's what drew me to starting in Harmony. How we conceptualized it, because I thought I must start this. I had a lot of conversations with people, and during those conversations, I met my working partner, and then over multiple cups of coffee in various cafes across Mumbai, we actually conceptualized In Harmony and what we want to do in Harmony.
Nice. And since that time, how long you've been doing this? How many years it is now?
6 years. We started in 2014.
2004. Nice. And how many corporates have you made a difference to till now?
So we have around, I think, maybe 30 corporates who are our clients. So some of them we have engaged since that first 2014, and we've been repeatedly doing work with them over the last 6 years on various projects that they have given us. And some we have done training programs, maybe 1-2 training programs. But yes, we believe that every intervention that we've had, we have touched lives and we've helped to make some transformation.
Correct. So tell me one thing, Anupama, what are the kind of challenges you face in day-to-day life while, going to a corporate or getting to what you are actually trying to make a difference to people's lives? So what is the kind of challenges that you face every day?
So, of course, the biggest challenge is to get through to organizations and getting to connect and say that, yes, we'd like to do this work with you. So that's, of course, always a big thing, the whole business, getting the new business part of it. Also, sometimes in this whole diversity inclusion, so the intent of the organization, how serious they are, that's something which we need to understand. Sometimes I think we are more enthused than, and the organization is not prepared yet to get into that space. So those are some of the things. Then, of course, there are lots of administrative things, like you have our GST to file every month, and the whole, those kind of things are also time consuming.
Correct. So when all these challenges happen, how do you deal with it, and what are the kind of, how do you overcome them?
I think one, I am a strong Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism practitioner.
Okay.
So that practice is almost like a meditation and an energizer for me. So that's one place, and I start my day very early. So my first half an hour is literally a meditation and my chanting. So that helps me to really go through my day very well. And also, I think what also helps is that even though like we may not get that business, whatever it is, we build very good relationship with clients. So I enjoy that whole interaction. So just that joy of talking to people, etc., is also
that's true.
Bring
so
down
nice.
the stress. Yeah.
Yes, that really makes a lot of difference. So tell me one thing. So what's your business model and what's the mission and vision of the company?
So our revenue comes from mostly consulting assignments in the diversity and inclusion space and training. And very recently, we got into placements specifically for transgender people. And that's an area that I'm extremely passionate about. So we got into that space very recently. As far as expenses, we try to keep it very, very minimal. We are a very lean and flat organization. In terms of full-time employees, we are just 3 of us. So we bring in experts based on the kind of projects that we are doing.
Nice.
And that helps us to manage that's how we have structured the business. In terms of verticals, largely, yes, consultancy, training, and also I'm on part of the POSH committee of various organizations. So these are largely the areas that we
got it.
look
so tell me one thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So tell me one thing. When you're an organization, when you go for an organization, and when you talk about the gender equality, that is something, it's a big thing. And how does an HR or a CEO of a company takes it, and what are the kind of reaction and actions that they take in an organization? So what's your take on that?
So gender diversity, when it comes to HR or diversity and inclusion professionals, they are like completely sold out, and they see the benefit of having a very good gender ratio in the organization. So the challenge is really not there. What happens is, from the business side, or when we interact with further, then you have like resistance, or there'll be a lot of reasons why either there won't be blatant resistance. Of course, I've seen that also in some conversations where people have very clearly said ki nahi, hamare line mein, like typical frontline sales, girls नहीं कर सकते हैं, and there are so many limitations, etc. But there are a lot of people even camouflage from in the way of showing care, you know.
Ah, okay.
So, like some example, like a woman who's pregnant. So, there are no opportunities given to her, or there is too much of safeguarding her that that's not probably what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it is intentional, sometimes it's like very unconsciously they're being protected based on their own background, etc. So our advice always is that please ask the woman employee, is this what she wants, what is the kind of support she wants, rather than presuming that she wants to leave early, or she doesn't want to travel. So so yeah, that's the kind, those are the challenges. HR and BNI, no, I think they're like
Right,
completely, they
because
want.
I have seen that in a lot of good organizations, a lot of organizations believe in gender equality. For example, Vodafone is one of the companies I am aware of. They really believe in gender equality, and they believe that gender equality in the top senior management. For example,
Yes.
as a CEO of an organization could become a and even a company like an Edelweiss. So like these kind of companies I am aware of, then who actually believes in gender equality, and it's a big way. So yeah, I think that's something which a lot of organizations are taking on right now as a part of their living, and they're changing the culture and the lifestyle completely. And people like you would definitely make a difference to them. Absolutely. So tell me
Thank
one thing. Tell me one thing. What about the transgender or cross-dressers? So they are also working in corporates today, and how do you influence them to have the equal rights in the organization? So what is that you do for that, and what exactly is your take on that?
So with the transgender people, it's very recent that companies have started hiring them and giving them opportunities. So it involves actually a lot of sensitization with the organizations, because this is a community which most people haven't been familiar with, not interacted with. So in terms of diversity, it's a very stark diversity.
Right.
So we do a lot of sensitization on creating that normalcy, how to address. And it's not like people want to be mean, but sometimes they're just scared that they don't want to be wrong. So helping them to
Okay.
identify that, what are the ways in which you can start conversation, how do you address a transgender person, and those kind of things. Similarly, even transgender people, we sensitize them on the workplace, because many of them may not have had, especially those who've never worked in a corporate. So we spend some time training them and helping them give the corporate perspective before the placement happens. So also we guide organizations with respect to their policies, that they need to be
Uh-huh.
trans inclusive. So things and infrastructure. So for example, gender neutral washrooms, they're a must, and that too they should be accessible gender neutral washrooms. ये नहीं कि
Okay.
you've hired a transgender person and the washroom is somewhere far away and they're spending a good amount of time going to the washroom. Similarly, sex reassignment surgery. Can the organization fund some part of it, because it's an expensive surgery, and for most transgender people, this is something which they're working to earn that money to go through this. Mental health support. Um, if the pronouns to use when you have a trans person. So we those are the kind of sensitization and the support work that we uh, do with the
So tell
organization.
me one thing, when you go to an organization and when you ask about their challenges that they face, right? So what are the kind of typical challenges an HR will tell you, or any company person will tell you, that these are the things I want to make a difference in my organization? So if you can just throw a light on that.
So they would want definitely to have a better gender, even though work on gender diversity and inclusion has been going on for a very long time, but there is still a lot of work. The numbers are still not where they are meant to be. Like you quoted some good examples like Vodafone,
Yes.
Edelweiss, etc. So Vodafone had done a conscious, like each manager to hire one woman employee kind of a thing. So organizations will typically say that there is the challenge they face internally is that while there is a goal, but down the line there is not enough support to get to meet that
So
number.
how do you encourage them to make sure that they really take a step to make it a gender equal organization. So what are the things that you do for that point of time?
So we one is that we guide them. So when we are doing a consulting one, we actually our approach is that start with a small diagnostic study to understand why, what is this issue,
Yeah,
why is this, and is it a real perception? This is the
right.
real reality in the organization. So that why actually helps us to go to really come back with a how to get fix this issue. So that's the starting step. And so it could be like, either you bring in a certain policy, like, what Vodafone had done, or some other organizations do of consciously, or like, companies also tell their recruiters that they'll get an additional percentage if they get for the same JD, they get X number of women profiles also. If we feel that, women are not being hired because the minute you see a name, etc., then we suggest that blank the name and the gender so
Right.
that there is a fair representation. So literally, actually, we work very collaboratively with our clients to see what, and while we may start with a certain goal, agenda, etc., sometimes as the work progresses, then we need to also change the definition of that based on the joint work that we do. I don't know whether I
Interesting.
made sense.
I mean, I was seeing some nice videos that you have been doing some team building exercise and all. So, what kind of team building exercise do you do for corporates mostly?
So we use a lot of, it's very facilitative, and we use a lot of creative stuff that as far as we can. So, like I think one of the videos which you saw was where we used dance. And this is something we had done on, being comfortable in your own skin. So for
Okay,
women,
yeah,
we had worked with women, and this is a hugely popular workshop of ours. So we get a trained dancer, and she takes the entire group together with. So Bollywood is so popular in India,
yeah,
so that's an instant click. So there's a fun element, but at the same time, very strong learning. So I facilitate
right,
the introspection part, and she does all the fun element of the thing.
nice.
So that's one. Theater is another way that we use to convey. We also partner with other organizations who use activities. It may not be to with diversity and inclusion at all, but definitely they make an impact. Art is something we use to work in this space. So we look
So, a
at,
lot of creativity is that you actually encourage in organizations.
yeah. So in our program, we bring in creativity more for engaging. So anything
Right,
that we do has to be engaging. It's not like a sermon. Right?
nice. So like one can be dance, and how long are these activities that you do? It's like a package that you provide to corporates. How does it work?
So they could be 90 minutes sessions, or they could be half day sessions. They can be a full day session. So depending on the topic, and how we decide largely, and also the number of participants and what the company wants to achieve from these
Right,
uh, initiatives.
nice. And also throw a little light on your social cause that you are, the transgender social cause that you are doing, and that's remarkable. And what is that you do in that? Give a little light on that. Well, Abhina was in our show, a couple of weeks back. Yes, so
Yeah,
you're aware of it.
yeah.
And she's quite involved in the transgender bit, and so she was talking about how she's making a difference and what are the things that she has done. So yeah, it would help if you throw a light on what how you actually help in the social cause, and what's that you do in that.
So my association started 3 years back, and mostly what my work was around creating social inclusion. So creating spaces in the society where I could bring them and bridge that, make transgender people and like my friends, colleagues, them interact and create those platforms, having sensitization sessions in companies where trans people themselves would come and they would share their story and what their journeys, what are they looking for. Because for a lot of employee in these organizations, a lot of employees have never interacted with
Right.
transgender people or even heard their
Absolutely.
story, right? So
Yes.
just listening to them, and you've heard Abhina, how articulate she is,
Yes.
right? She just,
Absolutely.
once she starts speaking, she will bust many myths that people have about transgender
Yes.
people.
Amazing.
That-
Yes.
yeah, so that's what we've done mostly in our sessions, etc. This year, when the pandemic started, this community was very badly hit. Just like your migrant laborers, their daily income was gone because lot of, especially the Hijra community people, they depend on begging and sex work. And with the lockdown, that source of income was completely gone,
Yes.
and they didn't have any savings. So, completely mobilized dry ration resources and managed to give around 2,000 packets, I think, across Bombay and Pune and a few other cities. And we're very fortunate to have, I think, very good friends who've supported organizations like SR Foundation, then the Amit Chandra Foundation. They came forward and supported without batting an eyelid that this is required or not. And we've also started since May. This was something which had been at the back of my mind, that how do I bring more understanding in mainstream society? How do I create inclusion? So we started a webinar series. Abhina and I actually partnered, her
Nice.
organization Tweet, and I partnered, and we started this called Transis. So with a question mark, which is basically to help understand what is a transgender community. So we
Yes.
started every Friday. We have a webinar, and we take a range of topics which just showcases that their struggles, large part is similar. We are very similar. Yes, certain
Yes.
issues are really stark because of the kind of problem that they've gone through life. But things like art, uh, workplace, certain issues, their basic rights, those are not things which, like, many of us know, what we take for granted, like getting married. You love somebody, want to get married, you think, "Acha, theek hai, shaadi kar lo."
True.
But in their case, there is no place to register a transgender marriage unless,
Absolutely.
yeah, as a transgender person. So
Right.
we highlighted all these issues in our session. In fact, the previous one we had Ghazal Dhaliwal and we had Satya Nagpal, both from filmy background. Ghazal has
Right.
written the script for Wazir and recently Ek Ladki Ko Dekha To Kaisa Laga and Mismatch. So they brought in a different perspective about how it is for a transgender person to make a space in the media industry.
Nice. So,
So
what is the kind of acceptance that you see in the transgender space that is happening in the corporates right now? The acceptance level is how much now?
it is much better. There are many organizations who are talking, and at least they're getting that initial step of getting transgender people to come and share their stories, interact with employees, because that's probably the first step that one needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I see organizations hiring transgender people more.
Yes.
The problem only comes is that the job description and the qualification, that doesn't match so easily. So especially a lot of people in the Hijra community are not educated, and they will be 10th pass, 12th pass, or some of them would not even have done 10th, and they want to work
Right.
now. The younger lot wants to work. So then how do we, what kind of opportunities can we get for them? So
Amazing.
corporates are opening up to the idea.
Absolutely. So tell me, I mean, I have seen, I don't know whether you have seen it or not. There was this beautiful ad done by HSBC where they had put it up in all over the hoardings and, all over the place, if you've seen it or not. And there were transgenders who were really welcomed in the ad. There was an ad that actually had
Rosie,
a welcoming this thing on transgender. So that's a very big thing. It's a big step. A company like HSBC has taken that on, and they have made a difference to the transgender community. Showcasing them in an advertisement is not that easy, right? You generally don't want to do that. You want to, like, not talk about it, keep it hush hush. We are still in that space. It is changing though, but you don't like to really tom about it in an advertisement, right? So that was a big thing, as a big step. I quite really appreciated that by HSBC. So, that is something I'm saying. So there are certain companies which I have realized that have actually very open to all kinds of people being part of their organization, and that's how they are progressive, and that's why they're growing in a different sector or
yes,
different space altogether.
yes.
Yeah, got that. So, okay, another question I have. Uh, how does inclusion of different kinds of culture help in a workplace?
So, there's a very famous quote which most diversity and inclusion professionals would know. It's the quote goes that diversity is getting invited to a party, and
Right.
inclusion is being asked to, participate and take part, or being asked to dance, whatever. So imagine, like, you're going to any environment where you are, where people ignore you, versus where somebody comes, talks to you, wants to know you better, wants to acknowledge your presence. Um,
Right.
yeah. So when all that happens, that acknowledgement, that acceptance, that the fact that somebody is interested in you, that is inclusion. So in our country, diversity actually exists. Every organization, you'll have diversity in gender, thinking, your mental capabilities,
Right.
oriented, so much. It exists all around us. But when there is an environment which actually acknowledges, respects this diversity, um, is ready to make accommodations so that that diversity thrives in the organization, that is inclusiveness. And this kind of inclusiveness actually leads to a sense of belongingness. And
Absolutely.
when you have that sense of belongingness, I mean, just put yourself in a situation where people have respected you, people have talked to you, have listened to you, you tend to be more, you lean towards that kind of an environment,
Absolutely.
right? And this is exactly what an inclusive organization would do. They will attract an employee, engage that employee, and that employee will want to stick on with this organization even
Exactly.
in
Get a
difficult
right talent because you have different kinds of talents, different cultures, different kinds of people, be it male, female, transgender, all of them are working towards a particular goal for an organization, right? So that is something which is a big thing in any ways that we all organizations grow that way, right? Yeah. So I get what you're saying, and that's where people like you actually bind them together and make it a difference. So that's great. Okay, so what's your plan? What's your next plan with your with In Harmony or your social cause? What's the plan that you have for the future? And if you want to say some few words to the the viewers, because then I'll get into a rapid fire round with you.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a hamper for me?
Ah, yeah, hamper. Yes, I'll send it to you in your house. Wait. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. You're right. Hamper is missing. I need to send you a hamper. Done.
Hannah? Yes.
Yes. Done, done. Yes, madam.
Thank you. I look
Yes.
forward to that. So, in terms
Yes.
of goals for In Harmony, yes, we are looking for to do very interesting consulting assignments. In fact, there's one we're just going to start either this month or next month, and I'm very, very excited about it. I can't speak about it right now because we're still in that last final stage. So, looking to do a lot of interesting consulting assignments, training programs. We've actually just got our calendar ready for the next year, um, and also to uh, give more focus to our work with the transgender community and see how we can get them um, better employment opportunities and livelihood options. So many of them actually want to set up their own enterprise and things like that.
Nice.
So what is it that we can do to support? So
Mhm.
this is our goal actually for the next couple of years.
So, are you only based out of Bombay and do everything in Bombay, or you are spread across India?
So we are based in Bombay. Like I said, we are 3 employees. We are based in Bombay, but we work with partners. So if we have a project in Bangalore, for example, we reach out to our partners in Bangalore, and that's how we execute the project. One of the good things of the pandemic has been that everything has gone virtual, so we can be
Yes.
anywhere, and we can deliver. And in fact, we have seen participation probably the highest when
Oh.
we do. Yes, we've seen, like, in every workshop that we have done, we've had such high participation
Mhm.
because it's just been very convenient for people to log in from their desks,
Yes. Exactly.
uh, and they participate. It's not even like, login kar
That's a
diya and
nice
chalo
thing.
baat
I mean,
somewhere
that's
else.
something which is, that's the best thing about, uh, that, you would be able to, people participate from sitting in their own place and they can participate and be at ease with everybody around. That's the best thing. And
Yeah.
you've got good participation, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, because see, we also discovered, in fact, a couple of years back itself, we had started working in the virtual space, and we have actually all our modules are now very interactive, even in the virtual medium. So that has helped us to engage with participants, and that makes a difference. So then, because of which we have like a large participation in our programs.
Tell me, what is the kind of cost that you charge for any into when you go to corporate? What's the kind of, yeah? I mean,
You
because
really
it
want me
will
to
help.
share that here in on this
Why
platform?
not?
No, whoever is interested has to just write into me or call me.
No, maybe you can give a range. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people here on the page who are also corporates, so they might show some interest. So I'm just saying, you never know. So you can share a range. You say like, I mean, it all depends on the kind of, it can be depending on company to company, but can give a range kind of a thing. Is there a possibility that you can do?
So I would only like to say that it doesn't vary from company to company. It depends on the project,
Okay.
especially when it comes to consulting, purely based on the project that we have to do and the time that's going to take. So there is no range
Right.
there. In terms of workshops, are maybe a 90 minutes workshop could start anywhere from a 25,000, and then
Okay.
a full day workshop could be much more. Would be much more. Yeah.
Nice. Amazing. Great. So now I'm going to get into the rapid fire round. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, great. So, what is the best thing that happened to you in this month?
One is this great assignment that I'm talking about, and second thing is this chat which we had planned before Diwali, and it's happening now.
Yes. Yes, I know. We've been talking and we're going to have the session. We're going to have the session. So, yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. This is great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. What is your favorite board game?
Scrabble.
Nice. So, you play Scrabble often?
No, actually, I love Scrabble, but I haven't had a chance to play, and nobody in my family likes to play Scrabble.
Oh,
So I'm looking for Scrabble partners.
oh, nice. Don't worry, we can play Scrabble. Great.
Okay.
Good idea. When are you most inspired? Which time of the day or
Guys, early
Huh?
morning sun, early morning
Early morning.
sunrise time, and I love the sunrise.
Nice. Because that's why you do yoga or you do your own.
Yeah, my
Nice.
chanting and everything. Yeah.
Awesome. What is one thing you still have from your childhood?
Memories.
That's of course. Anything else that you carry with you?
So recently, I've got some random earrings because to collect a lot of earrings. So that's there. Recently, my sister gave me a few autograph books, right, starting from 10th standard, 10th to 12th. And I think that's quite precious because the kind of silly autographs that we used to write to each other. So it was good going through that. Plus, there are clothes and a whole lot of
Nice.
things
Nice.
which my mom
Like,
has.
I'll tell you, I have kept a nice piggy bank, which I was a little kid. I had that, I still have it with me, and now my daughter puts her money in that.
How
So, so that's piggy bank. It's like coming from generations now.
I hope
So
it's
that's
grown. The
something
bank
I've
is
kept
getting
it.
full. I hope the bank is getting
Sorry, I
filled.
didn't get it.
I said, I hope the bank is getting filled.
Yes, it is. Okay. If you were the Prime Minister of India, what is the one thing that you would have changed in the country? One thing. You can say, of course, loads of it, but one thing that you feel very passionate about.
I think I would try to bring secularism in its true sense. I see that
Nice.
discipline.
Perfect. Very nice. Okay. What is something you can't do without?
Something I can't do without.
Yeah, like you want it all the time. That is, what is it?
Oh my God. What is something that I can't do without? I think a cup of coffee in the morning.
Cup of coffee? Nice.
Black coffee.
Yeah, a lot of times. Or it can be something else that you, or a tea or a coffee, or maybe your children you can't do without. No?
That's true. Yeah. But he's left home now, and I've kind of
Yes.
got used to the fact that he's not right next to me. I think I want to also add friends.
Oh,
My friends, I can't do without them. They are my like
Nice.
literally my big support
Awesome.
system. Yeah.
Very
And
nice.
many of them are also watching.
Okay. So, window or aisle seat?
Window.
Okay. Okay, good. What does creativity mean to you?
Free flow. Free flow.
Sorry.
Creativity.
Nice.
Free flow. Yeah.
Got that. Okay. If you could raid one woman, purse. Sorry. If you could raid one woman, who would that be?
You mean in terms of wardrobe?
Can be
Uh,
anything.
okay. I would love to rate Sonam Kapoor's wardrobe, but I think our sizes differ drastically. So I'm gonna settle for, unless like she puts on weight, there is no way that anything's going to fit me. So I'll settle for my friend Anu Prasad, her namesake Prasad. So I'll raid her cupboard because I know for sure that something is definitely going to fit me.
Great. Okay. Must have an item in the purse. That is like must have. You have
Yeah.
that also.
These days it's sanitizer.
I know. I know. Yeah. Heels or flats?
Flats.
Flats. If you get a day off to do nothing that whole day, what would you do?
I think I would spend with my friends,
Okay. Go
chatting,
somewhere or, just like chill
anything.
out.
Yeah, just chill out with them. And this year we've not had much chance to do that.
Got that. I know. Trend you would like to see disappear forever.
Discrimination.
Okay. What would want. Okay. So that ends the rapid fire round. Okay. So now tell me
I get a
what.
hamper.
Yes, you get a hamper. You get a hamper. Few questions here and there, but you get a hamper. You actually
Okay.
answered precise. Very good.
Okay.
You get a hamper. Okay, now tell me one thing. Yes. So tell me one thing. What is that you want your viewers to take back with them from the show? There's a lot of people been joining, and I can go on seeing people joining. So yeah. So what is that you
Uh,
want them to take back with them?
so I would say embrace diversity, differences, embrace the differences, lean into the differences, learn more. You'll just see how your life expands and how much learning is there. I mean, the benefit is there for us also. So, and make inclusion a habit. So go
Mm-hmm.
out of your way and consciously build inclusion. So that's what I would like to say, because I know how how beautiful my life has been when I have interacted with somebody who's not like me, who's
Nice.
unlike me.
Yes, I completely understand. So it's like, it's like as the John Lennon song goes, imagine all the people, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely. Are you
So
going to sing it also?
we all live in peace, and there's no religion. So there's nothing. We all in one space. So that's what it is. And life is that. If we
Yeah,
can start embracing that, then life is so beautiful, right?
yeah,
So yes,
yeah,
I agree with you. And if we start embracing diversity in every aspect of our lives, then life is so amazing, right? Yeah, so I really get that what you're saying. So yes, great. Thank you so much for being in my show, and I think it was really amazing. And the best part is we did not have technical glitches.
yes, yes. Thank you, Gargi, for this. Love
Yes,
chatting
because
with
we,
you.
we, we did a little bit in the morning. We figured out our technical aspects that it shouldn't be any technical glitches today. So yes,
Right.
thank you so much. Thank you, Anupama, for joining the show. Though we were like discussing for a long, long time, and you have joined the show. So that's a beautiful show it was, and it's great. I can have you again in the show. We can have something diverse where you can have you and Abhina coming on the show together. That
Oh,
can
yeah.
also happen. We can
We would
figure that
love
out.
that.
Yes, so we would love that. We can also do that. So we can figure that out also in some time
Sure.
and do the good work that you're doing. And it's really really nice that what you're doing for the universe, and that's going to make a lot of difference. And the difference that you're making itself is great. So thank you everyone for joining the show, and just follow the page, expand your life, and also follow Anupama's page. She has a lot of pages in this thing. What are the names of the page? In Harmony is the name of your social media handle?
So the Facebook is In Harmony One.
Okay. Okay. And you
And
also have a
Insta,
YouTube channel?
yes, I have. That's again in my name, Anupama Ishwaran. So both
Right.
Insta and YouTube is Anupama Ishwaran.
Insta and okay, nice. So
Yeah.
great. So thank you, Anupama, so much, and thank you everyone for joining the show. Please follow, like, share, comment on the page. It is really nice to have people every week. I have very nice people who joins the show as well as people who are there on the followers who are there on the page. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. See you guys next week again, and thanks, Anupama.
Thank
Bye. Take care.
you. Thank you. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Thanks. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye.
Thanks everyone.
Bye. Bye bye.